I think the biggest thing that I think we should talk about, the speculation that we've been seeing on social media with Paul George hopefully looking to be traded, like us trying to look for trades for him for next season or at least in the summer, and what your thoughts are about that, because I've been on this channel berating Paul George and how much I hate him, so I want to hear what you have to say about it.
3 points. I don't even know how much I believe the reports. There's not a chance in hell he gets traded. I guess it's just 2 points, but
Yeah.
Parts of the last point. There's no way he gets traded. Nobody wants him. And nobody wants him for 2 reasons. He is injury prone and looks like he's past his prime. I was saying the other day to you guys like LeBron and Steph and KD, they got us forgetting that, 34 is not a crazy age to like your game to like start dropping from you. Paul George is 34 years old. It's not crazy that he looks like this on the court. Not everybody's LeBron James or Steph Curry or KD.
Yeah.
And I think this is just more average NBA. Like, even for good players, some guys hit 34 and the game leaves them, and it doesn't help when he's been an injury-prone guy his whole career. And with all that being said, you still could maybe talk a team into it. Nobody wants that contract. Sixers don't want it. The other teams in the NBA don't want it. 29. I view him as an untradeable player right now. I just don't see how you convince a team to take that on. You can't convince a contender to do it, because he doesn't show like he's going to contribute to a contending basketball team. And why would a lesser team want to take on all that money just to have Paul George out there doing nothing?
Yeah. I honestly, now that we're talking about it, I just want to go a little bit more into it. I'm thinking about Paul George, like you said, and yes, he's not going to go to a contender because they're trying to win and they're not going to take on that contract. So that's already out of the books of like, can't go back to the Clippers, you can't go to the Lakers, you're not going to Milwaukee, you're not going to the Knicks, like you're not going to the Warriors, you're not going to any of these teams that want to do something. But when I was listening to, and I bring this up all the time, how I listen to Gilbert Arenas' podcast, teams like the Hornets and teams like the Pelicans even, and even like the Trailblazers and somewhat Wizards to a degree of like, there's teams that have been historically bad for years and years and years, and the way that they're still in business is because they have the name to put people in seats. Like they have LaMelo Ball to put people in seats, and I think they kept Zion instead of, getting rid of Brandon Ingram instead of Zion because it's Zion to put you in the seat. Paul George, can you take him and put him somewhere? Is his name still that relevant for him to go to a lesser team? I don't know.
If I could shake my head no any harder, I would. Now, dude, it's done. At the time of the contract, I was skeptical about it, but I thought maybe he still had a little bit in the tank. He is a shell of his former self.
Yeah.
We went to the one game he played well this year. Mm-hmm. And it's really it. He really hasn't had another good game this season, though.
He had that one good. No, it was a good game. I'll give him that. I think it was against the Knicks, and it was either the game before or game after where he had a really good game. He had like 24 points with like 7-8 rebounds, 6-7 assists or something like that. But it was like a good overall game. That's his only other good game that he's had throughout the season. So it is difficult to see that. I always think about it just because I heard one of them on the podcast say it, of just like, they didn't say anything about Paul George, but it makes me think of like, go put him on the Hornets and let's get some draft picks. I don't think the Hornets are going to do it, but the Hornets don't have any aspiration to be in the playoffs. Zion is like, he's here and there. He's healthy, but he's not. So I don't think the Pelicans would do it, but like, go put him on the Trailblazers. Let's get some draft picks. Put him on the Wizards with Cooper Flag next year. I think it would be dumb for anybody to take on his contract. I understand that, but just being optimistic in the sense of wanting to get rid of him, I think you can bring some names, or you can bring some people in seats with LaMelo Ball and the Hornets.
It's wishful thinking, my friend. I know you don't believe it, though. I can hear it in your tone.
I mean, if it happens, I wouldn't be surprised. We're talking about Paul George, and the possibility and speculation that he might be traded or they're going to look for trades over the offseason, you think there's any possibility that you could see Paul George being traded to like the Hornets for draft picks just for the name of Paul George?
First question: is there salary retention for trades in the NBA?
Like, can the Sixers pay some of his contract to send him somewhere?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Okay, if there's no salary retention, then absolutely not. Like, the rumors are straight rumors. Who's going to trade for that contract?
No,
I don't care. Because the Hornets, first of all, if you're the Hornets, why? That doesn't even make sense. You have LaMelo, and they're already talking about moving him this summer.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make sense to, like, for anyone, like...
What about Portland?
They want to tank more than maybe, yeah. Maybe
are the Beijing Tigers interested?
Even, like, maybe the Spurs, something like that. Yo, maybe something. They got enough drafts, or what is it?
No,
they got
Spurs
enough
about
cap
to be a
space.
contender.
Nah, man, Spurs not with. First off, Wemby sells seats enough. Now you got De'Aaron Fox and that Castle kid starting to play a little better. You got Vassell. Why would you bring Paul George in there?
You really can't put him anywhere.
They're about to get another really top pick too.
He I don't think G League teams would trade for him for people in seats.
God damn.
No, he could, like, I could see, I'm just saying it to, obviously, like I was telling Kev, to be optimistic, like, I could see Paul George going to the Wizards. I could see him in a Wizards jersey. I could see him in a Portland Trailblazers jersey. Anywhere else.
Nah, man, them Wizards, ever since they got rid of Kuzma, all their young players are playing well. They're winning a few basketball games here and there. I don't think they want to fuck that up by bringing another old, aging, shot-chucking veteran in.
Hey.
Makes sense.
That's his place where he needs to die at. If that's where he's going to die, that's where he's going to die is, hey, Paul George, we'll take you and your name. We're going to have, people get in their seats because you're Paul George, and you can shoot 50 shots a night. It's your team. Go ahead and ruin our franchise a little bit.
I don't even think Paul George wants 50 shots a game anymore.
I don't know. I don't know what.
You think cut him?
Would you cut him? I would, but they won't.
Let's see. It's the first year, though. Like, do you really just cut him already?
No, they won't.
Like, to be completely fair, he hasn't been healthy this whole season. Like,
yeah,
we can be mad at Paul George all we want. He has not been healthy this season. Like, this was a typical Sixers, like, hey, man, get healthy and better luck next time season.
Hey, what's this, our 7th season in a row doing that? Yeah, I don't know. Like a 27-year-old Paul George who's injury prone, you might give time to and be like, hey, get it together, you'll still be in your prime. You were talking about a 34-year-old injury prone player. I don't think there's anything left in the tank. I think we've seen the best off Paul George. I don't know if there's any glimpses of that left in him, like come a playoff run or anything. I just don't see it.
Didn't look like it. It even looked like it when he was healthy for whatever stretches that he did have with the Sixers. It's just like the shiftiness and the will to get to the basket is just not there, or it's not in his brain, or he's, I don't know. Paul George has a weird mentality so I would not be surprised if his mentality is like, I'm coming into a new city, a city that's known for like getting on your ass about you not doing the right thing, and I don't want to take the shine away from Maxey because then the fans are going to hate me. So he's like, I'm not going to be me while I'm here, but then also on top of that, I'm hurt. Like, I feel like that could be his mentality with the Sixers. I really hope that it's something different and he really was just hurt all season and we can just chalk it up to being that, and then he can be what we thought he was going to be this season, next season. But I don't know. He's been hurt the whole season, so I doubt that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's why. They're not going to cut him just because of all the money. But the other reason is when Sixers fans go like, "Why don't you try to get rid of him?" They'll just say like, "Oh, well, he was hurt last year. This isn't the real Paul George now. He's 35 and ready to go."
Yeah,
we know. Another thing killing me this season is when you're a bad team, with which the Sixers are with all these injuries. They're a very bad team. They look like the process Sixers out there. When I saw that lineup tonight, I was like, this is just us throwing a bunch of dudes out there on 10-day contracts and guys that won't be on the team next year.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing that, you want at least there to be some rookies. We got a Dembona, and I'd like to see him getting minutes, but Jared McCain being out for the year is killing me, man. This is like prime, like, let Jared McCain go out there and hoop and learn how to be an NBA player with all the stars out, and we're not getting that either.
he would have ate this season, man. He would have done.
Yeah.
He would have done so well with all this free time that he would have had.
Mhm.
We would have.
He'd
We would have been in the play-in.
Oh God. Oh, never mind. I'm glad he's hurt.
No, yeah, we really would have been. I feel like, you know, obviously if what didn't happen to Maxey as well, but we would have been in the play-in.
If Maxey was, because I don't think Maxey's hurt. If they were playing Maxey and he was healthy, and they had Jared McCain, I think that's worth a couple more wins. You're probably right. We're probably in that last play-in spot.
Oh yeah, we're definitely over the Bulls at least.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's enough waffling about Paul George. I'm tired of talking about him and thinking about him. Thank you guys for watching another episode of JK Philly. Make sure you stay tuned by subscribing to the channel.